On this documentary, as I reflect on my journey, I am reminded of the power of resilience, the importance of staying true to your values, and the need to embrace change. Life is not a straight path. It's a series of twists and turns, each one offering a lesson or opportunity. My hope is that this documentary will serve as a reminder to the younger generation that no dream is too big, no obstacle too great, and no journey too daunting if you have the courage to take the first step. Say no to those naysayers. If you believe in yourself, you have the passion, take that bold step. That's exactly what I did 35 years ago. So thank you very much. Enjoy this documentary and have a blessed week ahead.
Received by Mustafa Njai himself, CEO of TAF Africa, ladies and gentlemen.
It is a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony and laying of the foundation stone of the TAF City, which when completed will be the biggest integrated private sector-led housing initiative in Africa.
I invite you to join me to lay the foundation stone for the construction of TAF.
Mustafa Njai, or simply TAF as he is known, is not your typical African retiree. So let's walk with him to see how he became a real estate luminary, an influential leader, and a true success story of African entrepreneurialism. TAF City is an eco-smart city designed to be a live, work and play environment. TAF City is developed on approximately 500 hectares of land, twice the current size of Banjul, the capital city of the Gambia.
The TAF City, there will be 5,000 houses built with commercial area, educational area, industries, aquaculture. We want to grow what people eat there. We're projecting to have about 30,000 residents living there. It means a lot to me. I think this is my legacy project. So I am very much involved, hands-on, and I visit the city every day. I cannot go to bed without visiting the city. And that's how close it is to my heart. Lulet mo man lulet.
Non la mel mom.
Process you.
Gujur tafle.
Gujur tafle. Okay, all right, okay.
Liggéey bi dem kanam kontaan nañ torop.
Okay, dama ñaan bena ñaan tamit la ñaan. Mais bu baax. Bena ñaan la wara ñaan mu jàppa. Man la ñara ñaan. Bena ñaan rek.
Now, if you go to Tough City today, the majority of the workers there are women who are doing jobs that are male-dominated in the country. How do you feel about that? And these are women who you didn't go look for. They came looking for a job on your side.
If I want to just be short and be very bold and just direct to the point, if I had my way,
Yes.
everything in this country will be women-led.
Yes.
That's my experience.
Yes.
And I'm really proud of this. If you come to my, I'm very serious. If you come to my office, 70% of the management staff are women. And then, age-wise, young people, average age 30 years, and they love the work more than I do.
Wow.
So I think from my experience, what I have seen, that this country, women are the ones who are most productive. And I will boldly say this.
Yes. 100%.
Yes.
That's true. You heard him. He's the one working.
In the mid-80s, Mustafa and Jatu had their first daughter, Ya Bajen, whom he named after his mother. Then came Ya Fatu, Umi, and Sose. To truly understand how this man got to where he is today, one has to look at his family, starting with his late mother.
My mother was full of life. So a lot of people see me as a very bubbly character. I got that from my mother. To my mother, family was everything. She brought me up, to work hard, to be honest. Any good quality that I can boast of today, she played a big role. My father at my foundation, very young, yes, he did. But remember, he passed away when I was young. So my mother did play a big role in who I am today. My wife is very tolerant. She understands me very well. And she doesn't go against me. We had our small, disagreements like every married family. But I think in general, she's very tolerant, because I can be crazy. But she understands who I am, and I love her for that. My sisters still see me as a baby, and they pamper me. So I'm spoiled. Ya Bajen is very well family oriented and diplomatic. Ya Fatu is more or less a replica of me. Anything I do bad or do wrong or good, that's Ya Fatu. Umi is the intellect, smart, book-orientated, and very intellectualist, and I enjoy her company a lot. High sense of humor. Sose is the one who always wants to do things right, a planner. She wants to plan, ages that is not even here. Very meticulous.
His sisters, his wife, his daughters. Mustafa's story is also a story of supportive and independent-minded women. A story of self-assured and confident African women, all of whom have played an essential role in his life.
Wow, Banjul lañ juddoo yaroo fi màggee fi après defee fi lépp nag bon donc su sànni carte jotee nag ñu war a ñëw nag war a sànni carte fii si Banjul ñun Banjul yi sànni nañ carte si jàmm ak si salaam ñun ñëpp yàlla nañ fekkee yëpp day jeex si jàmm waaye fii si ñun waa Banjul.
In the 2016 presidential elections, Gambians voted Yahya Jammeh out after 22 years of rule. He initially refused to leave, which led to a tense 2 to 3 month impasse. It was around this time that Mustafa narrowly escaped arrest.
I was connected to a young group of activists who needed my assistance, and I helped. And I think that this was traced by the intelligence. So I will remember the day all the time. It was the 9th of January 2017. I was in my house. I just saw a friend down. It was during the day around 10 o'clock. And I saw, a tinted car. And those days, if you see an all tinted car, you know it's from the intelligence unit, the NIA at the time. So once I saw it, and I expected that anything could happen anytime, I went, on the back road, the back access to my house. My house is by the beach, and I deliberately had access there. So I went down and I called a friend of mine that, look, I feel threatened. I think these guys are here to pick me up. So he drove his car, and I ran about maybe about 2 kilometers away from my house, and I was picked up. I went at the back of the car, I literally bent down and went to the shore by the sea, at the beach. There's somewhere where you have canoes that crosses to the north bank. So I hired a canoe, went over, and then took a taxi, went to the border. And when I got to the border, I went in the bush and then got another taxi and went to Dakar. So that was what happened. I had to escape.
Taff had to escape for his life, for his freedom, essentially because of his belief in free speech, democracy, and the youth of the country. Soon after, the impasse was brought to an end after military and diplomatic intervention by the ECOWAS states pressured the former president to go into exile in Equatorial Guinea. Then, a new government led by Adama Barrow took over.
Gambians were very happy, and everybody was talking about the new Gambia. And yes, we were happy that democracy had been restored in the country, and freedoms, all kinds of freedoms, were once more the norm.
I had believed that the environment will change. It was more democratic. So I thought that it was time to come back home, and again continue my vision.
Taff came back home when Jammeh's departure was finally confirmed. Upon his return, he appointed his daughter Ya Bajen as the general manager of what is now Taff Africa Global.
Sometimes I'm like, can I do this? It happens.
I know there are the difficult parts of working with your dad, and also the easy parts of working with him. Yeah, can you come up, please?
Okay. He's my hero. He's my father, so he can't do anything wrong. He's like my savior, my Prince Charming. But it's not easy working with family. It's not easy trying to manage my dad.
I do put a lot of pressure on her, and so far so good. And she will learn, and I think she's learning very quickly, of how to take over this big business with her siblings.
One thing I'm taking from him, I think, is more of the hard work. I've always known my dad to work. He's always working. He's always at work. Even in our childhood, to be honest, we've always been spending more time with my mom just because he's always out working.
I only have daughters, so I enjoy putting them under pressure and then see how they swim out of it. They will pick up and probably do better than me, and that's my wish.
I have a lot of confidence in his decision and his vision. Sometimes it looks impossible, but because it's coming from him, I know it's going to work. We can do it.
We grew up as more of he's our father, of course. We had the respect, but he was also a friend, and he still is. We still have a lot of open conversations. And maybe it's because we all work together as well, so it's easier to have conversations. But we always discuss within the sisters that, we are a bit lucky. A lot of people can't sit and have these conversations with their fathers, especially fathers. I mean, usually daughters are closer to their mothers when they grow older. But I think we have this same equal relationship with both. He is, of course, a very hardworking man, and he leads by example. So if we do anything today, it's not because he's told us we're supposed to, it's because he showed us how to do it and that how we're supposed to do it. Yeah, so yeah, we have big shoes to fill.
In the year 2000, after celebrating the 30th anniversary of the birth of the company that eventually grew into TAF Africa Global, TAF retired.
Yesterday and the days before, I thanked family, wife, but I must admit that over the years, we have had a very solid team, both in Nigeria and in the Gambia. Everything that you see here are being done by young Gambians between the ages of 30 and under. 30 years is not 30 days, but I could not have done it alone. I did it with a team. And I think tonight, I owe it to my team to thank them.
Being back home was a relief, as well as an opportunity to continue what he had initiated many years before, to become a genuine influencer in reshaping the history of his country and to leave a positive legacy for the next generation. Urban Gambia is bubbling. It's active, it's connected, aware, creative, and full of hope. Banjul holds about 500,000 people in a country of approximately 2 million. The change of government generated a number of projects in the construction industry: housing construction, infrastructure development, hotel development, and more. The country is still facing major challenges: inadequate education, a weak health system, and nearly half of Gambians struggle for their daily meals. But Mustapha Njie is a major actor and influencer in this urban Gambia. He's also involved in providing solutions to Gambia's many challenges. And he's at a phase in his life where he's concentrating on what his legacy will be. Mustapha Njie's hard work and ambition brought him financial success. His faith and values have led him to share his personal wealth through the philanthropic work of his foundation. Supporting young people on a personal level, yes, but also sharing 1% of the company's turnover on different initiatives for startups, entrepreneurs, and the differently abled, always focusing mainly on the youth.
You don't just invest in business in the Gambia, you also invest in young people, you develop young people, you in fact have an academy. Can you tell us about that?
Well, okay, I do invest in young people because I think that's what I want my legacy to be. Mm-hmm. I want to be remembered for the lives that I have impacted, the lives that I have really touched. So when I am no more, young Maria Makoli will sit down one day and say, well, I am happy I met Mr. Njie, and this is what I learned from him, and this is what we did. And because of that, this is why I am who I am today. That is like my legacy. I don't want to be remembered for the houses that I have built or the money I have made. I want to be remembered for the lives that I have impacted and how well they have done in life. Now, the Leadership Academy, the reason why we have the Leadership Academy is that I think that the problem that we have today in this world, not only Africa or not all Gambia, is leadership.
Yes.
Leadership is a serious problem in everything that we do in life, whether it's in government or the private sector, out in the street,
Even with business.
in business, in religion, you know, wherever you go, I think leadership is key that it should be addressed. So I thought that if we want to help the next generation, we need to help them, mold them to be good leaders. For me, what I would like to see that the next generation that is coming, between the age of 18 and 30, I try to influence their lives positively. So when they are in a position of leadership, then they can be responsible.
Which is amazing. You are a mentor to thousands of young people in this country, and even within the sub-region, people know your work outside the Gambia.
Good evening, everyone. Please do not underestimate this Leadership Academy, because it's the best you would get in the Gambia.
To be amongst the 300 that was chosen, you know, and I was like, wow, I've been selected. So I was like, okay, this is great. And Uncle Tuff was there present, you know, and he gave, you know, a short background of his life and how he started, and, you know, going from construction to actually to who he is today. So just knowing his background and have been following his life, it's an inspiration already. So being under his wing and being under his Leadership Academy is another great bonus to myself and obviously where I want to get to.
While Taft City is the legacy of the visionary businessman, Taft Foundation is the legacy of the man, the son, the brother, the father.
One thing that you must note that we don't joke with in this academy is punctuality. And if you inculcate it in your minds, this country will be a better place to live. Because it will be part of your life. You'll get used to it. We chose 12 values. So the first one is integrity, commitment, empathy, futuristic vision, accountability, making decisions, empowerment, confidence, good communication, honesty, innovation, passion.
Ni ala ne matamema ikana konantea. Jamfa be diminta barikano la jamfa nimeyo kela adimina bukaba.